Hi, I'm Kristen Baughman. My farm is Curly Girl Farm in Zanesville, Ohio. And this is my flower garden out here. I do a mix of flowers and vegetables on my farm that I sell at farmers markets in both Zanesville and Granville. And I also have a roadside stand in Zanesville that I sell my produce and my flowers. I also do some pick your own events out here in my flower patch. So right now it is mid-September, and I've still got a lot of pretty flowers in bloom, so that's kind of nice. And right now I'm kind of transitioning between the summer vegetables and the fall vegetables. So in the summer, you know, the main season things, I grow a lot of tomatoes and peppers, green beans, kind of a mix of anything you would expect. And now I'm transitioning into fall. I'm getting ready to pick all the squash, winter squash. I grow a lot of butternut, spaghetti squash, that sort of thing. And I'm also doing fall greens. I do spring greens, and then I kind of take a break in the middle of the summer and replant and do fall greens. So that's kind of what we're heading into right now. These are my fall greens. This is the first planting of greens. You can see, these are radishes here that you can see coming up. Arugula, lettuce, spinach. The spinach came up really well. I think I finally mastered spinach. It's always been hard for me. Carrots, I'm still trying to master. There's some carrots out there that I'm not sure if they've come up yet or not. I haven't looked. But yeah, so this is what my farm looks like in the spring as well. Pretty much like from here over to that tall broom corn over there was all spring greens. So this is my second planting in this space for the season. So I do a lot of that double cropping if I can, because I'm only working with about 3 acres here. Like I said, it's September, so I'm kind of transitioning from the end of summer vegetables into fall production. So I've got fall greens here. This is a late planting of flowers that hasn't been weeded, so don't look too carefully, but I've got late zinnias, late celosia. I'm going to do another succession planting here of fall greens so that you know, I can keep picking. And in fact, I'd like to put in a lot of spinach this fall, and I'll probably do that in this section up here because I was able to overwinter it really successfully last year, and I had great spinach in April. So that's kind of my plan for this area up here. So yeah, this hopefully will go into spinach and be ready next spring. I've got sunflowers that are still coming on, which is great. I try to have those, you know, succession planted, so I have them pretty much every week throughout the summer, you know, like starting in July. So got that. I've got fall items like amaranth in the background. This is broom corn here for fall flower arrangements. Those make nice filler. I do a lot of decorative fall things, pumpkins. I collect bittersweet vines back in the woods. You know, I grow a lot of ornamental corn and that sort of thing, just to kind of have a full season of different things. You know, I go in market from April clear, you know, if we have a November market, through November. So I do a lot of double cropping and just try to plant as much as I can in this space to last the whole season. So I try to grow some interesting things. These here are ground cherries, and they're almost, I probably will get another week or so out of them before they are done, but there's a little fruit inside the little paper husk. And they've become really popular at market as people are figuring out what they are and how good they taste. They're in the tomato family, but they're sweeter. They're an heirloom. I just like to do a lot of diverse things. I really like to grow pole lima beans. So this is actually will be the second week for these. They're usually not ready till Labor Day. They're a long wait, but they're worth it, and they're so popular. People start asking me in July, like, when are the lima beans going to be ready? So these are an heirloom variety that my neighbor has grown for years, and he gave me the seeds, and I have been growing them ever since. I do grow bush lima beans, and I decided a week ago I will never grow them again. I do think I said that last year, but this year I mean it, because they're such a pain to bend over. You get these little pods. These you get, and these are surprisingly tender considering how how big the beans are. They're really an excellent variety. So I am sticking with the Lima beans. I also, my field helper is a lady, I wish she was here today, she's really fun. She is from Thailand. She is now an American citizen, but she is married to a man from Zanesville, and we just sort of randomly met, and she has been such a help on the farm. She comes out and helps me harvest, and she just has such a knowledge of when things are ready, and I don't even have to tell her. She knows what to do. So that's been super helpful, but she's also helped introduce me to some interesting things, like these Thai long beans here. Are something fun, and you know, we grow these, and she actually takes them into Columbus and sells them to her Asian friends up there. So that's pretty neat. Some varieties of hot peppers that she's planted. I actually got to go to Thailand with her last December, and I'm so thankful that we weren't planning it for this December, that I actually got to make the trip, and it was really cool. So yeah, pole lima beans, long beans. I do pole green beans. And then lots of different peppers. This row here is actually like an entire row of hot peppers, and I grow like the really spicy stuff, like I don't know if we want to walk out. That might be kind of fun to look at some of the really hot peppers. These are just the basic Hungarian hot wax, which people around here love to make mustard. I assume that's kind of a universal thing. So those mustard peppers. So this starts my really cool hot pepper selection. And I get a lot of this stuff from Baker Creek out of Missouri, or Seed Savers Exchange in Iowa. But these are just a little tiny hot pepper. So what I do is I pick everything and mix it all together, and then I sell them in pints. And they range from sort of a medium heat all the way up to like, you know, Apocalypse Scorpion I grow, which is like one of the hottest, Carolina Reapers, that sort of thing. And people are really liking that. They like to dry them out and make their own hot pepper powder and stuff like that. So like this is a chocolate ghost pepper, which is, I myself don't eat these things. They're too hot for me. But my heat level has definitely increased since I've known Jeet, who is my Thai lady friend, because she'll cook for me sometimes, and I've really, I've really learned to up the spice level. So I've got, this is a peach ghost pepper, and what else? A purple cayenne. I'm really into colors, so everybody comments on my displays at market how colorful they are, because I do tons of heirloom varieties of tomatoes that are all very colorful. All the little peppers. Over there I've got the little snack peppers, I've got red, orange, and yellow, and they make such a pretty display, but they're also really tasty. They make a wonderful snack. You know, this is called a Brazilian starfish pepper, and I think it's more of a medium heat. But I just try to do an interesting variety. And actually some of these like more interesting peppers, like this one, and then I have one called Chinese 5-color that I actually planted out in my flower garden out front this year, because the foliage makes such beautiful filler for flower arrangements. This is the squash patch, which it did not look like this a week ago. The powdery mildew kind of set in, and the leaves died back, but it was kind of perfect timing because everything's ready to pick, so I can actually see it. So hopefully we're going to start tomorrow. I've got the wagon set up with tubs over there, and we'll go through. I like to grow a lot of heirloom stuff. You know, I've got butternut, I've got spaghetti squash. This is a variety of acorn squash that people like to eat or just use as decoration. So we're ready to get fall displays set up at the market. This is called a Butterkin, which is a cross between a butternut and a pie pumpkin, and they're delicious. They've got that real dark orange flesh. They make nice pie, nice soup. Of course, I've got spaghetti squash. All of my big pumpkins are planted at my boyfriend's orchard because they take up a lot of room. So we've got those planted out there, and hopefully we'll start harvesting those this week as well. This is an heirloom squash that I got out of Seed Savers Exchange. I've got a lot of stuff from Seed Savers out here, and it's kind of like a fun little treasure hunt when I go to pick just to see what's ready. I've got some little white pumpkins. So I just like to do, you know, I'm not one to do an acre of one thing. Obviously, I like to keep things diverse, and it just helps me if one, you know, if one crop doesn't do so well, usually other things will do well to take their place. So I like to stay diverse. Got some funky gourds. Lots of pie pumpkins this year. I always sell out of pie pumpkins. I don't know how many people are actually making pie with them, but they are also a wonderful size for decoration. So got a ton of those. I've got a bunch of, you know, little mini pumpkins and gourds out here. So we'll get all this stuff picked in the next, hopefully, week and a half, and get it to my roadside stand and make a beautiful fall display. So that kind of gives you a basic overview of Curly Girl Farm, and you can find me on Instagram at Curly Girl Farm if you want to follow me, and I try to take pictures and post them throughout the season. And you can buy my products at the Zanesville Farmers Market, which is Saturday mornings from 9 to noon. You can find me at the Granville Farmers Market as well, which is 8:30 to noon on Saturday mornings. And then my roadside stand, which is located on Route 40 East in Zanesville. So just go to historic downtown Zanesville and follow Route 40 East, and it's right at the edge of town. And that is open from July through October, and it's open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.